We are back with more regular show The Lost Tapes. In my initial video, I took a look at the first episode, and in this video, we're going to take a look at episodes 2 and 3 of the show. Currently, there is 5 episodes that are out, and I will cover the next 2 episodes in the next video, so be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on that. I'm not sure when all 40 of the episodes come out, but I am looking forward to watching everything. But let's get into episode 2. Blade Games. So Mordecai and Rigby watch a game show at the very beginning of the episode. We get to watch these guys expertly cut a bunch of things, and I just love how they made this guy so sweaty and nasty in this one scene right here, just really emphasizing how seriously they take this. We also get to see the Sega Master System that Mordecai and Rigby would always play their video games on, so I'm really happy they made sure to bring that back. But yeah, Mordecai and Rigby start acting out the Blade games and just karate chopping the couch or something, and then we get to see Tankless Slice on TV before Benson shuts it off because he wants them to stop slacking. So yeah, they start messing around with bamboo, and Benson is eavesdropping on them. And this is when Pops comes in, and he's almost butt naked, like in that one episode. And after Mordecai and Rigby throw a bamboo stick through the window, this is where Pops gives Benson some management motivation tapes. And these are 80s tapes, of course. You know, it isn't regular show if they don't at least have an 80s reference. So in this tape, it's very awkward. It looks like all the workers are being held at gunpoint. They're all just smiling directly at the camera, and the manager in the tape awkwardly hugs somebody.
Can't unwanted hugs be considered workplace harassment?
And yeah, somebody points it out before I do. But yeah, Benson isn't really enthused by this tape, but he still tries to take the advice of complimenting Mordecai and Rigby, and I love this part right here.
Favorite employees? Where?
I love how quick and simple these jokes are. They tend to land really well. So definitely a pretty strong start of an episode. Benson notices how awful they've been doing at their job, but Benson has to fight himself to actually compliment Mordecai and Rigby, and they take it the wrong way and think that they can go back to watching Blade games. But there is a plethora of other lessons in these VHS tapes. So now we have mentorship. Okay, it seems pretty normal so far. Why is she watching somebody over a toilet stall? I guess the workplace environment was non-existent in the 80s or something. I don't know what this is, man. How did she get away with this stuff? And now we get to see a training montage with Muscle Man teaching them. Honestly, not big on the animation here, but it's close enough to what I wanted. I might make some videos on close enough, actually. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. But anyway, Rigby's in the hospital. Yeah, not the first time we've seen Rigby in the hospital, and honestly, probably not the last time either with how often this guy is in the hospital. They forgot that Rigby is allergic to eggs, which is a reference to the Excellent episode where Rigby tried to do the egg challenge, but got sent to the hospital.
Dude, you're allergic to eggs?
I thought if I ate really fast, maybe I wouldn't notice.
Alright, and here is the final lesson, and it's by far the best one, and that is to gamify. So Benson tricks Mordecai and Rigby into thinking that their job is a Blade game event, and it actually works well. It encourages Mordecai and Rigby to actually try doing this job, even though they obviously don't qualify for it. I also do like this goofy animation that they do with Rigby. I think the classic episodes of regular show were a lot more animated and expressive, which I liked a lot. I love the goofy expressions you would see the characters making, and by the end of the series you didn't really see that, so I am glad they are bringing that back in this new series. So even though some parts look a little bit weird to me, I still do appreciate how expressive the new series is. It does remind me of the classic episodes to an extent. This plan of gamifying Mordecai and Rigby's job, it actually works too well because it actually summons the Blade games people that Mordecai and Rigby saw on TV. I love how the scene is animated right here. They just emerge from the sky. It's awesome. So yeah, Mordecai and Rigby start fanboying as soon as they see these guys. But these guys think this is an actual Blade Games event. And after Benson tells them it's a lie, they get really pissed off. Blade Games is no joke. They take this seriously. And this is when things take a huge turn right here. The Blade Games people start destroying the park. And this is by far the most animated I've seen Benson. And they also start damaging Benson's car. Literally in the episode before this, his bike got destroyed. They even summon even more people to slice up Benson's car. It gets to the point where Benson starts breaking down and crying, and it is very rare for this guy to cry, and he's never cried this excessively. So this results in the Blade game guys all leaving. Mordecai and Rigby apologize, and they promise to do their job, and Skips is also looking into fixing Benson's car, which by the way, there is no way that car is salvageable. I mean, look at the condition of this car. But there's actually a twist right here. Gamifying was not the last lesson in the motivational tape, and that is is emotional manipulation. So Benson faked crying. He starts laughing like a supervillain and then the episode ends. Honestly, I don't know why he was laughing so hard when his whole car got destroyed, but it is what it is. This is definitely a really solid episode. The episode had a really strong beginning and end, but I think they could have sped up some parts in the middle. But yeah, overall a solid episode. And for the next episode, we have Nap Spot. And this episode opens up with a banger joke. I love it.
Oh, Margaret, give me a big wet liquor kiss.
A classic Rigby joke where he makes fun of Mordecai's obsession with Margaret. This is where we get to see Muscle Man, but he starts to prank them in classic fashion. He tricked Mordecai and Rigby by diving into these egg salads as somebody hid $100 in there. And they found a doll, $100 hairs. This time Muscle Man tricks them into wearing outfits because there's supposedly a huge dinner. So they put on these outfits and get totally mocked by the other guys. I also love how Skip says it's too much denim.
It's too much denim.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is. And Muscle Man has one more prank to give them. He tricks them into giving Pops forehead kisses, but they get pranked into kissing a giant ice sculpture and they get their mouth stuck on it. Mordecai and Rigby ended up having to go to urgent care, so that is such a messed up prank right there. Mordecai and Rigby are sleep deprived, and now Muscle Man is teasing them with this awesome napping spot that he has because they don't know where it's at. So now Mordecai and Rigby threaten Muscle Man that they're gonna find his nap spot, but I think this was a big mistake because Muscle Man is on high alert and Muscle Man can basically see them whenever they try to sneak up on him. So their plan of following Muscle Man does not work. So they find High Five Ghost to try to talk him into showing them where the hiding spot is. I also do love how there's so much dialogue with High Five Ghost right here. High Five Ghost rarely ever talked in the original series, and there wasn't many episodes based around him. There is that one episode that showed us his girlfriend, but nothing else really. So I do hope they continue with all this dialogue and actually give him like his own episode because goddamn, we probably know more about Thomas than High Five Ghost, honestly. But yeah, they start acting mean towards High Five Ghost. They decide to smash his vase because he won't tell them where Muscle Man's napping spot is. Honestly, I get pretty sad by what Mordecai says to High Five Ghost. He basically says that they're not even friends in the first place, so High Five Ghost doesn't know where the napping spot is. So High Five Ghost immediately says where the napping spot is out of pressure.
Your nap spot is on the other side of the park in the abandoned playground.
Because High Five Ghost and Muscle Man are obviously best friends, so that wasn't true. But yeah, they decide to head over to the napping spot, which is basically like a treehouse type of place. There's even a poster of Starla. But yeah, once Mordecai and Rigby sit on the bed, they immediately lay down and their voices get deeper as they fall asleep. It's kind of weird. And in the meantime, Muscle Man and High Five Ghost are frantically running over to them. Muscle Man is sweating profusely. Just thought I had to mention that. But once Muscle Man and High Five Ghost reach them, it's too late. They fall asleep, but they reach a different dimension. It's kind of like those episodes like Planet Chaser Starlight Excellent, where Mordecai gets trapped into his own brain and Rigby and Skips have to go inside to help get him out. So it's kind of the same premise here, but they're actually sleeping this time, and these are dreams. And in this dream, Benson is acting like the nicest person ever.
You guys want to play some video games?
So this is all super awkward, and they immediately want to get out of this dream. So they find a floating exit, but it just vanishes once they get close to it. And this is where Rigby has a plan, where what if he sleeps in the dream? Maybe that'll make them wake up. No, it gets even worse. Rigby goes deeper in the void, and there's like a super weird looking Pops in this dimension. So now Muscle Man and High Five Ghost lock in. They have this whole plan where they have Muscle Man fall asleep with them, and High Five Ghost will wake them back up. Once Muscle Man gets a hold of Mordecai and Rigby, Muscle Man also sleeps with the teddy bear. That's some pretty important information for you guys right there. So now Muscle Man is in this dream dimension with Mordecai, and Mordecai is fed up, so he does the classic "you pissed me off" pose. It's awesome. Mordecai falls over and falls in the dimension and splats. It's a really cool animation. Mordecai finds his way into a winged kingdom, and of course Rigby is sleeping inside the building. So now Muscle Man comes from a portal and he starts fighting Mordecai, and they fall asleep into dream level 3. And this is by far the darkest and creepiest dimension. Rigby, to nobody's surprise, is terrified, and Muscle Man enacts on a protocol. This protocol is the only way that they'll make it out. Muscle Man lets out a loud scream, but it ends up being a super quiet whisper in the real dimension, which is really funny. But High Five Ghost is on alert. He makes a bunch of noise, and it causes a bunch of distractions in the dream world. So now a pool emerges out of nowhere, and Muscle Man has them chow down on egg salad before all these hands reach out to grab them. And this actually makes them wake up into a lower level. And before a giant tsunami comes, Mordecai, Rigby, and Muscle Man do a chant to bring them back.
Bibbidi, bibbidi, Wake me up from my sleep!
And now they're at the last level, so they're close to being awake. So now High Five Ghost causes so much noise that this happens. A giant Benson emerges from the ground. This is actually exactly like the Susan episode where she basically took over the park and she turned into a giant like how Benson is right here. As Benson grabs Muscle Man, we actually get a pretty funny sentence by Muscle Man.
I have a complicated way of showing my platonic affection.
I would have never known Muscle Man even knew what the word platonic meant, but he basically implies that they're best friends and that he'll always be pranking them, which is kind of wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. So now the three of them start to kiss the ice sculpture of Pops, and this miraculously wakes them up. And they also go through a secret exit so Benson doesn't catch them, so they run out before Benson reaches them, and they leave to get some burgers, but Benson sits on the bed and immediately falls asleep, and that is the end of the episode. So this is by far the most regular show episode ever. This is exactly what you would expect from the original series. High Five Ghost ended up playing a huge role in this episode, which I really do appreciate. Muscle Man had a wholesome moment, surprisingly, and it was a great episode all around. Alright, so that was Blade Games and Nap Spot. If I had to pick what episode I enjoyed more, it was definitely Nap Spot. The only thing this episode was missing was a My Mom joke from Muscle Man, but everything else was great here. Blade Games was also a fun episode. I really do like the beginning and end of that episode, but I feel like the middle of the episode, it kind of felt like the pacing was pretty slow for me. I'm also not accustomed to Benson being so animated like he was in this episode. I loved how over the top the ending was, and that woman in the 80s tape was insane. She was breaking basically every guideline. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these episodes. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys on the flip.